So why can't we do that? So we are looking into that, and I'm sure that will be done. Indeed, I went ahead to even explain to the Honorable Minister, who in his own right, in fact, he even knows more than probably so many of us here in the area of agriculture and even in some other areas as well. I explained to him that, yes, even at some point in time, the American government, the US government, all in the name of making sure that they are wheat farmers, of course, they are being protected. When there was this depression, they bought all of those wheat off them, and they were thrown into the sea, really, just to make sure that those their farmer, they continue to work, so that they just tell them continue to grow, continue to just do what you do, and you will take it off you. So we should look into that, probably not just giving them direct subsidy. In a way, that is the way they are. Because it's been difficult. It's going to be difficult for our farmers to compete even in the context of Africa, not to talk of now in the international community. So I'm sure a lot of all of those are being looked into. In the area of environment, we've had a lot. Some, yes, we know already, and of course that is one of the reasons why we call everybody to come and brainstorm with us. Tell us the way it is. Tell us those things that you think we are not doing well, that at least can be done differently. Yes, I'm happy. Thank you for telling us those that you think we are doing well. Thank you for your kind words. But yes, we still want to hear those things that you think we could improve upon, and those things that you think we could do differently, and that it will be in the positive and right direction. So in the area of environment, yes, we've been told how we can convert our waste to wealth, how we can use environment to create employment, to create wealth, to generate huge employment opportunities for not just our youth, for almost everybody. So we are going to plug into that. We are going to key into that. We've tapped from so many people, so many brains here. So we are going to use that. We have been told that, yes, we wanted growth. We want more industries. But we are telling them now that, yes, we want green growth. We don't want just people to say, okay, yes, in the name of coming to set up here. Don't bring technologies that will come and constitute health hazard to us. There are new technology, new ways of doing things. We want you to come and collaborate with us, support us, so that at least we can beat our chest and say, have you seen the way industry factories have been run in Ogun State? That they've now, the era of maybe just emission hazard and all of those attendance hazards are being removed. So we want to show the way to others, so that at least they can now all come to see the way we're doing it. And finally, on transportation, yes, we've been told, we know, and that's the first thing I did when I came. Aside from education, which I know is the pick of the pack for me and for us, and even in the context of who we are, Ogun State, in the context of Nigeria, even indeed, probably Africa, maybe except for maybe South Africa or so, and maybe some North African nation. I think Nigeria, we know our preeminent status, and in the context of Nigeria, you know who we are in Ogun State. So when I came in, I know that for any development to happen, the infrastructures must be in place. Infrastructure will not just be limited to road for me. It will not just be road, rail, air, waterways, and all of that. In fact, it will include security, even our environment, and all of those. And that's why for me, aside from education, which we believe is the pick of the pack, that it is an educated people that will be easily governed, because they will be in sync with your ideas. They can flow with you. And in any case, once you get education right, of course, they will be the person that will turn, maybe develop all the other areas and sectors. So for me, I believe that infrastructure is key as well. They are catalysts that will spawn development, that will bring about development. Without them, I don't think people will want to even come there, really. If you come to Ogun State today, you come to any state and you realize that all the infrastructures are not in place, you will not want to come back there again. Look at what happened when the president of Colombia, when he came. Of course, if he gets to this place and it's like maybe there's no light, there's maybe no water, or the roads are bad, then he will not want to come back again. Indeed, he came in, the first thing he asked for is that, I need an internet access. And we said, no problems. Just switch your phone on. You don't even need any password. We will remove it and then you will use. And it was like that. It was so uncomfortable. The first thing they were asking for is that. Those are the kind of things that we talked about. And in any case, if probably we have our airports here, it could have just flown in here instead of, look at the Amosun now. The Honorable Minister that was rushing, he wanted to rush to go and catch his flight. If we have an airport here, easily he would just go there and just do that. And somehow, strangely too, I think in 1940, yes, Chronicles of History, and you can Google this, you can check. We have what we call an airstrip here in this Abeokuta in the 40s. Indeed, in the First World War and even in the Second, wounded soldiers are being airlifted from here, and they are even being brought to here. And that is why till today we have that Commonwealth cemetery there, just on the way to where we now have the barracks. The old barracks is still there. They call it Lafenwa Barracks there. Just opposite it, part of the barrack, is only the road that has been done now. You will see that there. And again, that's a lesson when I came that I learned. That Commonwealth cemetery, if you go there, you will see people there. Once a month, they go there, they paint, they make sure that they maintain it all the way from where they are. And ours here, somehow, you will see trees. Trees are taken off inside those places. So it's not good. And it's a lesson. And that's why I said no. If some people, in the name of Commonwealth, they are still maintaining what they have in my backyard here, then I better get it right. We must maintain all that we have. We must improve on our maintenance culture. So somehow, the airport, after maybe the war, nobody thought about it again. Until I think about maybe 14 or 12 years ago. Now they try to resuscitate it, and that is the one at Wasimi now, because we are moving it. Because they now have a new barracks there now. I think that barracks was the old one is there. That one was about 30 years old now. The new one, the old barrack has been there since even before we were born. But the new one, I think some 30 years ago or so, Alamala Barracks, the new one. So it is after Obadako, that the federal government started, I think in about 13, 12, 14 years. And year in, year out, money were being budgeted for it. Funds were being released somehow. So what they've done so far was they've done the perimeter fencing, they've done the design. They have been told they actually awarded the contract to some people somehow. They didn't do it. And since we came on board, of course, we realized that it will be in our interest to get that done. And we have engaged the federal government. We did it in the last 4 years. Now it's still there. Now I'm happy to report that now we'll be moving back to that site now. And I'm sure that airport is not luxury to us and for us in Ogun State. It is a necessity if you are going to follow through to the development plan, and if you are going to take full advantage of who we are as a state, not just in the context of Nigeria, but truly, maybe if you maybe try to situate us in the context of those that are getting it right, these major cities of the world, and that is where we will be. Again, we have this cargo airport which my predecessor started. Somehow that one has been there, for the one I talked about has been there before we were born, but it's good for us to have the cargo airport as well. I don't think there are too many, really. Indeed, they will pay back, that I can tell you, in a matter of probably years. Of course, whoever invested in that will get our money back. And that is why, as a state, we are not going to say no, we are not going to do it because it's important. There are so many industries, even in all the 7 industrial hubs that we have. So we have revisited that, and I'm happy to note that we've had people that are collaborating with us, that are supporting us to do that. The third one, it is the Olokola, which is what I think the World Bank said it. It's not just me. All the development agencies, those in the financial and economic world said it too, that if Nigeria is going to get it right, Olokola must be right. Yes, I'd say this with all sense of responsibility. I know, yes, we are not the only state in Nigeria, but even when they did their reports and their analysis, everybody, of course, come to the conclusion that because that is the deepest end of the ocean, they don't need to run around to say, okay, the raft is too small, too shallow. They want to begin to what they are doing in other states, that because the raft is too small, they want to dredge, they want to do this. No, if we are dredging, it is not because of that. Maybe in some areas, little things that we want to do, maybe onshore here. And that is why we think, and I'm happy to report again, that the federal government is now positively looking towards that direction. But let me quickly add that this is not a project that the federal government alone will say, okay, we just want to do. Worlds are changing. There are new ways of doing things. And that is why the presentation that you just had, we are inviting people of like minds, people that will identify with the huge opportunities, huge potential that lies in that corridor of Ogun State, that they should partner with us. And again, I'm happy to report that we have about 3 or 4 that are ready. They want to partner with us. And with what federal government is doing now, I think that is probably the economic volcano that will be erupting in Nigeria. It will happen at our backyard here in Olokola. So it is not a thing that, yes, we have jettisoned, no. But this is it needs a huge investment. It is not just something that can be done like that. Even in other matured and advanced nations, you will see that they will plan and they will say that we are starting this, maybe in the next 12-15 years it will mature, but they will have phased them out so that probably in the first 3 years, maybe the next 5 years, this is where we will be, which is exactly what we are trying to do. And when that place is done, there's no way that that place will not have its own airport. We've talked about our rail. Rail for us in Ogun State